Alrighty then, are we ready for game 2? I certainly hope so, because I'm about ready to kick it off. Let's do it. Oh yes, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. My name is TotalBiscuit, bringing this Team Revoke show match, sponsored by Reverend Pinky, a privately sponsored show match for $200 between this guy, Empire.Kas. He's a scary man. He's very nice in real life, but he's kind of scary when it comes to Starcraft, I've got to say. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran to the northeast of this particular map. Versus his opponent, TtE.WhiteRa. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the northwest. My, oh my, oh my. That was an amazing first game. Absolutely incredible stuff. Kas with some very resilient macro, but of course the hidden base, which WhiteRa never discovered, was the bane of him. Kas was able to recover over and over again, simply because of the support of that base. WhiteRa wasn't able to overcome. He tried so hard, he almost broke into the natural, but Kas with a fearsome defense backed into a corner, that scary wild animal that Kas can get. And that is what happened. Yeah, I feel that Colossus could have really helped the cause of WhiteRa in that game. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't try to transition into that. Storm is a great thing indeed, but with a maxed out army, Kas couldn't have actually effectively countered Colossus. So, it's just something to consider, but never mind. WhiteRa was still able to annihilate several armies, and it was highly entertaining. Ooh, pokey pokey. Kas actually let that die. Oh, he does! WhiteRa gets the first blood. Kas not pleased. But of course, Kas is far too mana to let that be known. I have no idea what that means, but I assume it is Ukrainian. Or Russian. Both of these are a possibility. Oh my, Kas, what you up to? You're going to build a second barracks. Well, that's unusual. It's not what we expect to see from Empire.Kas. Not at all. Reactor going down immediately for him as well. I wonder if this is going to be some more aggressive play from him. He does have quite the interesting set of strategies. Most people know Kas as a macro player, but he can turn on the heat when necessary. Of course, be a safer 2 racks expand, but really you don't generally need to do that. So I am very intrigued as to what this is going to end up doing. It could just be a straight up 2 to 3 racks pressure on one base. Nothing wrong with that. It's effective. Admittedly, I think WhiteRa is experienced enough to hold something like that. He also saw that barracks. He is well aware of its presence. TtE.Lab going down on it as well. And now going for the wall off. Like I say, usually you don't go for 2 racks unless you're expecting aggression, or unless you want to apply aggression. WhiteRa with 3 gateways coming up. He knows that he needs that. As hey, there's a nasty aggressive Terran coming in my general direction. Keeps an eye on it, and what does he see? Very little at the moment. Also, has my cursor gone weird? I don't really know what's up with that. Maybe there's a problem with the new version of XSplit. I'll look in the configuration later on. My cursor was going red for whatever reason, which... Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I can fix that after the game. That's fine. Anyway. Empire.Kas now with a small assault force. Looking straight for concussive shell. Always a good choice. Obviously, the early force will consist of quite a few zealots, potentially. The gas count's not going to be very high, so concussive shell is ideal against that. Kas with a single SCV in the mix, potentially try and build a bunker here. And WhiteRa is a gutsy fellow, because you know what? He's going to put a Nexus down when he knows that aggression is coming in his direction. That is incredibly gutsy. Unfortunately, that might end up getting punished pretty hard. Sentry's coming in, but they're not in the right position just yet. Warp gate is about to complete, and up the ramp comes Kas, and WhiteRa hasn't spotted it. He's about to now. That's going to force a cancel, most likely. Seems very unlikely they'll be able to save that, but he's going to try for it anyway. Of course, he can cancel later on. His army is not really large enough, but he can push him back and then force field the ramp. Kas is a little bit wary about that. And down goes the SCV, so don't bunker for you, I'm afraid. Sentry sniped off there by Kas. Very, very nice indeed, and more units will be on the way for WhiteRa once those cooldowns come off. A couple of zealots eliminated, and WhiteRa got caught out of position there. Not so ideal. The Nexus continues to build, and will there be enough units coming out? There should be at this point. Kas not sending too many more units in for pressure. WhiteRa going into the corner here, taking more fire, and a Stalker goes down almost immediately. Guardian Shield is now up. Admittedly, Kas doesn't have much of an army, but neither does WhiteRa. WhiteRa able to push him back once again, and that Zealot taking the majority of the fire there. he's able to bring down the Marauders, then that'll be absolutely wonderful for him. He focuses fire, and the Sentry's got himself a kill as well. Zealot now into the front lines, and Kas has been repulsed. Yes, he finds this entire situation repulsive. Die! Die, says WhiteRa. 3 gates versus 2 barracks. Who should win that engagement? Well, that should be fairly obvious. And this aggression continues on, and WhiteRa's going to be a little bit careful about getting caught out of position here. Stim is about to complete as well. Admittedly, Kas is just sending in his units in small groups, so it's not really too much of a threat to WhiteRa just yet. 3-gate expanders succeeded, and the Nexus was not denied. A really strong defense there from WhiteRa. I'm very impressed. I feel Kas could have perhaps dedicated to destroying that Nexus, but he would have lost his army in the process and would have been vulnerable to a 3-gate counter-attack. So, Kas playing a bit safe, as you would expect from Kas, to be honest. Kas is not a stupid person. Oh my, no, no, no. Kas is extremely intelligent. His decision-making is exceptional. Don't want to mess with him. WhiteRa now with the Robo coming up, so we could be seeing just a 2-gate, well, 2 base into Colossus. Perhaps off 6 gateways as well. WhiteRa tends to throw in a really weird number of gateways sometimes. He doesn't really seem to care. It's like, oh, well, you can't support this many gateways. This is the guy that used to go 5-gate, 1 base against Zerg, by the way. So, yeah, he's a bit crazy in that respect. And here comes Kas's force once again, and the Sentry gets caught out of position. That's rather unfortunate. There's the force field split. It's not ideal. WhiteRa's able to push it back for the most part, but he's going to end up losing sentries here. His positioning is not ideal. You don't want sentries at the front. Kas is probably fairly happy with that engagement. He can't make his way in there, but he's still done some significant damage. Now an Immortal coming on the field for WhiteRa. That's going to be very handy indeed. Going to snipe off some Marauders here. Kas has only added on 1 more barracks. Try and smash his way through here to gain access to his 3rd base. This is the Entombed Valley map, by the way, if you hadn't already realized. WhiteRa says bye-bye to those rocks. He never liked them anyway. Kas setting up an interesting line there, designed to funnel Zealots. Always handy. Economic situation currently in favor of WhiteRa very slightly, I would say. Kas is almost there, since he happens to have mules in the mix as well. Got more gateways being added on, and actually going to be a Twilight Council here from WhiteRa. I have to wonder if he's going to go for the same idea as you went with previously, actually going for Storm, Zealot Charge. Straight into Dark Shrine, so absolutely not is the answer to that. Going to be a DT drop, perhaps, coming in, but in the meantime, we've got a drop of our own. Kas sitting on 6 Marines and a Marauder in there. WhiteRa's forces are currently out of position, so this is going to do some significant damage unless he warps in rapidly. He does have a cooldown of warp-ins, so he should be okay. And he's going to see that as well, so he should be able to immediately warp in to respond to this situation. That's going to do a bit of damage, going straight for the gas count there. And, oh, that's a nasty little firing line. There's see that WhiteRa's got all these ducks in a row waiting for Empire.Kas, and that Zealot didn't exactly engage well there either. Now, this really shouldn't have done as much damage as it did, honestly, and WhiteRa didn't respond as well as he could have there. Going to go around the side, try and deal with that, but unfortunately he isn't able to do so. The drop gets out of there with no losses. Absolutely fantastic position. Oh my god, Empire.Kas, you sneaky bugger. Empire.Kas kills 9 workers, disrupts mining for a significant amount of time, takes out a couple of Zealots, and you know what? He's not even going to lose the force that he used. However, does he have a response for the Dark Templar play that's about to land? Simple answer is nope. He actually doesn't even have any scan energy at the moment. Ooh, a greedy, greedy base here from WhiteRa. Can he get it? Yes, he can. No problem. Should be able to shut this down. Got a missile turret coming in. More detection. WhiteRa getting ready. Gonna go for the warp in here. Dark Shrine was not... Oh, actually it was. Dark Shrine was spotted down to the bottom there. So missile turret will be going up in order to try and deal with this. However, the DTs are already in the mace. They could be inside a mace. That would be a very dangerous mace, I've got to say. It's a spiked mace with a Dark Templar inside it. There's a scan used, and a very smart play there by WhiteRa to only reveal 1 DT. Warps in another, and then picks it up to save it from the scan. He, in fact, actually could go in here, and there's really nothing that Kas could do about it for about 15 seconds, but WhiteRa's playing a little bit cautiously. He is able to secure the third base, which is wonderful. Gives him the economic lead that he needs, and in the meantime can continue to harass with this Warp Prism, Zealots, and DT. Viking now on the field to try and shut down that Warp Prism. Kas, a smart individual, and Kas's army, once again, looking... I don't even know how he manages it. His army is always so huge all the time. Doesn't even matter what stage it's at. Slicey, slicey. But that was just a diversion. A mere trick, because Zealots are now coming into the mineral line. There they go. Once more, a little bit more damage being done here. Very nice play here from WhiteRa. Using the DT as a diversion, doing a little bit of damage with it, and then doing more damage to the mineral line. That's 16 workers killed by WhiteRa in total. That's absolutely huge at this stage. Takes Kas down to 44 workers of his own. 3 more gateways being added on for WhiteRa. Whoa, okay, that's a lot of freaking gateways. Takes that up to 9 already, but he's got 3 bases. He doesn't have to worry about that. And he's going to be going for Zealot Archon for the time being, as you can see. Not going to bother with Storm. Doesn't have the Templar Archives anyways, using the DT Shrine in order to do this. But Empire.Kas with his big scary Bio Ball is on the way. It's not really timed with anything. He's got +1. WhiteRa actually has +1 armor and is about to complete +2, so things are looking pretty reasonable for WhiteRa at the moment, but the risk is, of course, that Kas decides to just Doom Drop straight through, and there is an alternative method of getting into this base, and directly behind WhiteRa's forces, splitting them into pieces. WhiteRa's got to be extremely careful now, and Kas knows this map like the back of his hand. He's a huge ladder player. Oh, so many pylons shot down very rapidly here. And in comes WhiteRa from the side, but an EMP has already been deployed, and Kas with a huge army in the natural of WhiteRa. Does WhiteRa have what he needs? He certainly does not. GG, ladies and gentlemen, and what a display from Kas. A perfect engagement, and regardless of all that harassment, Kas just didn't care. Barrels down to the center and then flanks off to the north, which is, of course, an access point into the natural on Entombed Valley. Second game going to Empire.Kas. An impressive display. Very, very cool indeed. Alright, folks, we're going into Game 3 very shortly. You're currently watching this Best of 7 show match. It's brought to you by Team Revoki between Empire.Kas and WhiteRa, with Kas leading 2 games in this Best of 7 series.